I talk about this, we talked about this junction between a very dense area of this medical campus and the downtown, and the linking factor between that.
Sort of what we wanted to do by bookending here,
like a mall,
and having a potent end to the brick.
This is the real basic drawing of how the galleries will be laid out, and it's working on the concept of utilitarian versus closed circuit pathways, and the closed circuit pathways are really defining the movement throughout the galleries for the museum entrance. And also the red lines are showing the utilitarian pathways from different parts of Oklahoma City and how they enter on a secondary basis into the museum towards the transportation, which is harboring on several theoretical ideas. One of the main ones being exitus, which is the statement that you're engaging yourself with a moment in time or history.
Well, there's plenty of, well,
because they actually do have, I don't know if you look, but they do have rocks underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's just kind of like,
this is ultimately going to be our final presentation.
Is this continued through here? Okay. Because it looks like
just from Justin's structure all the way through and then around through Dustin's and then up into this
the other side and this side.
and that's
I'm hoping in the final rendering they also show part of the breakdown.
yeah.
That see the whole connection together. I mean, you don't have to render, just, you know.
We had a
vehicle traffic one color, all the train traffic one color, and all the bus traffic another color. And parking, how they all.
Where's your parking?
He had to move it. He had to.
Okay, well, this is every 5 minutes. So that's why they for the buses to queue is kind of hard because they each have a specific lead time. And that's why they've each got their own spot. And in Oklahoma City, that's not going to be very many. There may be 3 buses or 4 buses.
and the rerouting, which is eventually going to lead to the boathouse here, it's passed on the interstate. And when I did, you can see it's black. What I've done is I've recessed it into the earth. And so the bridge crossing from one side to the other is actually on grade. So we can begin to facilitate that transition.
Affordable housing. No, what did we say? Yeah, we said
in terms of our broad goal for the project, it had to do a lot with creating communities and walkable environments and healthy places for people to live and access to the city and everything. So the redevelopment of the site really focuses on the organization of buildings and open spaces that are able to create strong communities. So my actual building, which is the white building there, is kind of put on the bazaar, on the main walking street, and within the neighborhood, so it has a strong connection to the neighborhood. So we have the freedom to maybe develop something that comes through their site, turns and goes back.
You decide where the trolley is.
So there's a difference between, we talked earlier about the Midwest city.
That's light rail.
That's light rail, okay.
Final printout, playing a lot with different line weights and really beginning to determine what we want the master plan to show immediately as far as layers of information in regards to what's important, what's really need to be seen, and what's pertinent to our development.
There's the sunken part here with stairs where people can come and have their lunch. There's a stage here where people can have performances on the weekends. There's an entrance directly from the triangular pieces are literally reacting to put more surface area where there's more noise.
Here's the quick diagram. On the first level is more public, so it's the retail, like shop or restaurants or cafes.
Train stop as opposed to Keith's train station, which is on the back side.
my building is located right here on the master plan. The red line represents the east-west bound train. There's 2 revitalized train tracks coming in. Correct me if I'm wrong, Claire. The east and west one is running. And then there's an automobile gallery and a train gallery here. And that all exists on the 3rd floor.
You start to move from into the, as you cross into the 235, you kind of enter into this plinth of the medical center, the campus, a kind of nice lifestyle. And so how you kind of translate that is that there's kind of 2 somewhat urban bodies.
Not isolate the community, but create a space, create a development that would also connect with the surrounding context. I started to diagram winter through autumn, how I can orient my building in such a way that it would maximize sun. Typical apartments, some people get lucky and they get windows and sun coming in. Some people just don't get lucky and have no windows.
And so the actually network that the highway itself breaks, it can also begin to reorder. And so you see from the very beginning was this line here that operates between the structure of the interstate, connecting Mai's Bazaar here in the community to our new retail hub up along Sheridan and Andrews Mall. So really it began a launch off of that and augmenting this landscape through terrains to change the perception of levels and sound, the sound environment you're in. I did other studies. You'll see this graph here. I actually took sound recordings at different times during the day and studied different decibel levels, really looking at inverse square laws and how sound actually dissipated.
This section right here, you can see this idea of what the system would be if it was ever planned out enough. The structure can hold it.
The kids to come in and basically revitalize this area that was once just concrete paradise. Rejuvenate it, make it into a co-op.
Think about the words you chose to orient the audience to your part of the project. And this is the first time I've seen it. Some of you did a pretty stellar job of helping me understand your part of the work very quickly. And your audience is going to want to be oriented early, and just a lot of words doesn't supplant the rate of the idea. And it's the rate of the idea that tends to communicate your heartfelt message.